Hello Bookish friends, welcome to my May wrap-up part 1. In this mid-month wrap-up, I will talk about the 5 books that I finished in the first 15 days of May. And I will insert the clips I recorded when I finished the books. I use this method so that my views about the book would be fresh as I finish those books. Today is the 3rd of May and I finished one book very late yesterday and another book today. The first book that I finished in the month of May was a carryover from April. I read the 3rd book in the Molly Morphy mystery series, For the Love of Mike by Rhys Bowen. In this mystery series, we follow the adventures of a woman detective in the beginning of the century in New York. Molly Morphy. Molly Morphy is also an Irish immigrant, and as a part of her private detective occupation, she wants to unite the Irish families who have lost contact during the immigration process to America. With this aim, she is employed to find the daughter of quite a wealthy family who has run off with her lover and married him. And she also takes another job at the same time, which is to find the mole in a clothing factory who steals the new designs and gives those designs to the competitors. During this time, Molly also struggles with the affairs of her heart. There were many things that I liked about this book. But unfortunately, as a mystery book, I thought the mystery was very weak in this one. And I did not feel like Molly did any direction. She just stumbled across some of the situations by chance this time. And I thought the mystery was not gripping enough for me to find out what would happen. But still I read the book quite fast because I really do love the character of Molly. And that did not change in this book. Really like the secondary characters, and I'm very much interested in their story as well as Molly's ongoing love story. And I also really did learn so many things about the time period. It was very interesting how the immigrants from different countries coped their new life. So in summary, because I was quite disappointed in the mystery aspect of this mystery series, I gave For the Love of Mike a 7 out of 10. And the other book that I finished was a reread for me. I actually listened to this as an audiobook. That on the Clouds by Agatha Christie. This is the May pick for Christafest, which I am now proud to be a part of. And I'm really enjoying our chats every month. I wanted to reread this book because I actually remembered the murder method and how clever I thought it was. While I was listening to the book, up until the very last chapters, I had no idea who the killer was. So I think it was a fruitful reread in terms of that sense. In this book, a French widowed woman who lends money to people in need is murdered in the plane that Hercule Poirot is also a passenger of. Like in all Poirot books, he is asked to investigate this murder. He first gathers clues about who could be the killer, and then Poirot eliminates each suspect by trying his world-famous elimination methods. I really enjoyed the little nods that Agatha Christie gives to her previous books. And of course, the character of Hercule Poirot is always a delight to listen or read. And in the earlier books of the series, Poirot is very much determined on using a scientific method to solve the mystery, which is the kind of detection I like the most. I thought it was a very decent mystery and I really enjoyed listening to this book. And I did not change my original rating and gave it an 8 out of 10. Hello Bookish friends, it is the 5th of May and I finished the book that I lent from the library. I actually borrowed this book because of two reasons. One of them is that I really did like the novel Like Water for Chocolate from this author, Esquivel. And the second reason was that I really did love the cover of this book. I think it's a fantastic design. Turkish title of the Spanish book is Lüpita Yapmayı Seviyordu, which can be translated as Lüpita likes to iron clothes. And when I looked at the Spanish title, it is more or less means the same thing. And there is an English translation of this book. It's very interestingly titled Pierced by the Sun. In this book, Lüpita is a police officer who works in the traffic department, but becomes a very close witness of the murder of the mayor. We follow the events after this murder from mostly Lüpita's point of view, as well as the very tragic events that Lüpita faced in her past, such as sexual assault, rape, alcoholism, and the death of her son. I was very much disappointed by this book. I thought the writing was chaotic and the plot seemed a bit interesting at first, with her being the witness to a very interesting murder. And then both because of the confusing writing style as well as a very pessimistic past of Lüpita made me lose my interest gradually as the book progressed. If the book was not a very short book, I would have certainly DNF'd it. Although the solution of the mystery was sort of interesting, because the focus was on something else entirely, which did not interest me at all. So I gave this book 4 out of 10, which is the lowest rating that I gave to a book this year in 2022. And I think I learned not to be fooled by just the cover, but read the synopsis as well. Today is the 8th of May and I finished the audiobook of Buse Cinayeti by Mehmet Murat Somer. This Turkish mystery book is the first book in Hopçikiyaya mystery series. And this book, as well as the following 3 books in this series, has been translated into English as Turkish Delight mystery series. Title of this book is The Kiss Murder, because Buse means kiss in Turkish. And in this book, an unnamed transvestite who dresses as male and works as an IT consultant is also a part owner of a nightclub in which she dresses as female and also works there. And one day, one of the girls in the club, named Buse, is murdered. She is secretly told about an affair that she had been involved in many years ago with a very prestigious man, to our narrator, but she does not tell the name of that person. And when Buse is murdered, our narrator decides to find out why Buse is murdered. I read this book for my Turkish shelf project. And I will talk more about the importance of this book in the Turkish literature in a special video that I will make about this book. There were many things that I liked about this book. First of all, I admired the bravery of this book, having a transvestite main character as early as 2003. It also gave an insight of the gay people and transvestites who were involved in the nightclub business and show business. As a mystery, I thought it was a decent mystery. Although the ending could have been better, I actually liked the ending because it was realistic. But I have to say, I was annoyed by the very crude sex talk in the book. And it is something that I discovered about myself by reading this book. I am comfortable with reading sex scenes unless it does not involve violence. But apparently I'm not comfortable about people talking about sex. That's why, although I found the mystery to be decent, I will not continue with the series. If you do not mind such scenes, I would strongly advise you to read this book. As I've said before, it's a very decent mystery and also a very good insight to the people in that industry. So to sum it up, I gave Buse Cinayeti by Mehmet Murat Somer a 7 out of 10. Today is the 14th of May and I finished the book that I was bud reading with my dear friends Nikki at Red Dot Reads and Naomı at Naomi's bookshelf. We three are all bud reading the Harry Hole series by Nesbo together. And we read one book in every other month. This book, which was titled Kurtarıcı in Turkish and The Redeemer in English, was the 6th book in the series. And in this book, Harry Hole is after a serial killer who killed a soldier belonging to the Salvation Army, as well as the new structure in the police department brought by the new police chief. And as he tries to find the contracted killer, whose face cannot be identified, he also learns more about the past of the people in the Salvation Army. I really enjoyed listening to the book. First of all, it had a much better beginning than the last one, and the tempo was really good. And it gradually increased, and it was very interesting to learn more about the mechanics of the Salvation Army, which I know almost nothing about. And it was fascinating to read about a serial killer whose face cannot be identified. And I learned many things about this phenomena. And most importantly, Harry was sober and could use his intellect more efficiently in the majority of the book. It was not a repetition of the same plot again and again, which was beginning to be redundant, especially in the previous book. And last but not least, the ending was so exciting and full of action. And of course, I made so many wrong guesses again. I think that is becoming sort of like a joke among us, how wrong my guesses are. I actually love to be wrong and be surprised in this thriller series. To sum it all up, I gave The Redeemer by Nesbo a 9 out of 10, and I cannot wait to read the next book in this series with my dear friends. Those were the 5 books that I finished in the month of May. Please comment down below, have you read any of the books that I mentioned in this video? And if you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye! As for Turkish word of the day, since Molly Murphy is from Ireland, I will choose Ireland for my Turkish word of the day. Ireland means İrlanda in Turkish, and Irlanda is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day!